and sisters, there is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another night, another magnificent night of the ESEA ESL Pro League. So we've got a few matches coming up for us tonight, and we're going to be starting off strong as well with NiP versus Envy. But of course, joining me for this broadcast is going to be Anders, none other than himself. What's up, man? You good?
Wow, Summer, you always assume it's my name just because it's me on Mumble. I mean, it's a bit much. But you're right, it is me. It's me. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're
you
having
doing?
like a Harley convention outside or something. I don't know what the hell's going on. But now I've closed the window, so we shouldn't have any problems there. Should be good now. But yeah, dude, I think we're pretty much we're set. We're good to go. We should be getting into the match fairly soon here. We did get a GoTV IP, but first we're going to go ahead and talk about a main sponsor in this league, and that is none other than Vulcan. Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yes,
I'm looking at your
indeed.
lineup here, bro. Oh, you took a totally different tack. Okay. Okay, there's going to be something to talk about here. I'm going to bring mine up first just so we can take a look at that. But, yeah. We're going to bring up mine first real quick.
Well,
Let's see.
okay, so first of all, there were 3 teams in tonight's pool, right? Or at least there are 3 matches. So it's like NiP versus Envy, then it's Envy versus Nabi, and then it's PS versus FNC, and that took me like half an hour to figure out what was going on. But obviously it's just Pentasports versus Fnatic. It's just that the shorthands for those 2 teams were confusing me for quite a while.
All right,
but,
so you want to go through yours real quick? We can start off with yours then, and then
yeah. Should I read mine out, or should you want to do it?
I got the screen up now with yours going here. You actually did a bit better of a job managing your money than I did, so already a bit of an advantage there. But
yeah,
let's see. Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I just thought, okay, since Envy are playing twice tonight, I want as many Envy players as I can get.
Right.
So I thought, who's going to be playing well tonight? It's kind of hard to know, but I feel like it's time NBK and Happy did a little bit more. And Sharks that's like my wild card. Sometimes he goes nuts, and sometimes he's a bit more in the background. So I was hoping today was going to be one of the days where he really hits it off. But I mean, they're playing some pretty good teams as well, so it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I like your combination. You've got JW there as well. So all right, and Olaf Meister. Well, I went with Olaf Meister too, but that's like obvious, right? You just get that. You just take that pick and go with it.
Well, I was gonna not do that because I thought you were definitely gonna do it. So I thought maybe I should just hope that Olaf has a bad day and then pick someone else. But I couldn't meta game that far. I gave up along the way.
Yeah, and then you had JW too. Okay, hold on. So let's take a look. Okay, so now we have his group. He's got Happy Calling. We think alike, Anders, because I've got Happy Calling too. But hold on, let's see. We should be
Yeah.
in here. We should be good. Where's mine? Is that mine? Why is it not changing? Why is it not changing? Come on.
If you click on the top one, it should, I think.
There we go.
Yeah. I see that you have Smiths in here and Pronax and everything. Wow, yeah, we did go a different line this time.
Where is mine? Damn it.
Well,
There it is. Okay, I got it.
Okay, there we go.
I got it. Right. All right. So for some reason, yeah, I wasn't switching over, but we should be good. We should be good now. So there we go. Yeah, you guys can see my lineup. I've got Happy Calling as well, and I went with the same tactic, 3 Envy players, except that I went with Smiths instead of Shocks, just because I feel like Smiths these days has actually been shown a pretty good level, whereas Shocks is still kind of like middling. The last couple of matches we've cast of Envy, it's actually been Smiths and like NBK at the top. So I was like, okay, maybe tonight we get a little bit more of the same.
I think maybe even though it sounds weird to say it, I think Smith might be more consistent than Sharks, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might not be a bad pick, actually.
I went with a triple. I went with like the double triple threat, basically. Like 3 Envy players, obviously, 3 Fnatic players, because I think that they're gonna just like completely thrash Penta, and then Exist and Get Right. I've got as my my NiP players for the first match of the night. So I kind of went for a balance there. I think this could be pretty good. I think this could work out.
Well, I guess we're about to find out. I mean, in not too long, it's going to be NiP versus Envy as the first match on Cobblestone as well, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually, I mean, I suppose that's the ultimate level of doing this Vulcan stuff. If you also like take into account the maps and try and figure out like who's good on what map, like if Smith was playing Dust 2, obviously you want to pick him a bit more, maybe, stuff like that.
That's yeah, exactly right.
It's the next level, somewhere. It's the next level.
well, the thing is like Smiths doesn't even op on Dust 2 anymore. That's the problem, right? You know, it's so hard to predict what Envy are going to be doing these days because it doesn't even seem like they know what they're doing anymore. Like, they're kind of all over the place, just trying to shift up their game to become, well, to just kind of revitalize their game, right? That's what they have to do. They were in a similar situation to Fnatic, where it's like everybody figured out kind of how they want to play, and so all of a sudden you've got these big shifts coming in as far as the actual strategy is concerned. And I think there was a loss of confidence there as well for Smiths, because once his flash combo got figured out at mid doors, I think he kind of started going like, I don't know if I want to op anymore. However weird that sounds, because he was just so dominant on that map. It always kind of seems like ever since that trick seems to have gotten figured out, Smiths has kind of taken a step back from picking up that big green gun.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could be right. You could be right. We've been seeing different, players sort of phase it in and out, and maybe they just don't feel like they need him as much on that map anymore. What? Tell me.
I like switch to the game and then it kills my game. All right, so hold on. I gotta get back into the game now. Smooth.
Perfect.
You have a good day, bro? Everything all right?
Yes. I mean, I've been sort of mentally preparing myself and trying to get everything sorted out for DreamHack. I've got to travel there tomorrow by train, which is actually great. I really love train. I love riding on trains. I don't know why. Like, 6-hour train ride. It's definitely a good idea.
Yeah, right. So you're gonna be coming up. You're not taking the car this time. You're gonna come up with the train. I'm
gonna go with the train, yeah, and I'm gonna just put on nice music and enjoy the Swedish countryside for a couple of hours. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't know why, it's like sort of a mental disconnect for me riding on a train. I should go on like an interrail thing at some point.
Yeah, that's like. The what? Wait, is that like the that ticket that you can buy that takes you everywhere? And
yeah, exactly. You go like the whole of Europe on train. I don't know what people do apart from riding trains. I guess they also stop every once in a while and actually visit like different cities and stuff. But I could see it.
That's
maybe one day.
That's when you actually have like weeks off to be able to just go from place to place, or if you wanted to go for like a quick weekend trip. There you go, right? That's what that is. That was actually my Euro trip when I was like 19. Came over with some friends and we ended up buying an Interrail and just going like France, Spain, and just going wild basically. Barcelona is a crazy place. Barcelona, and then we spent like a few days in Ibiza as well, which was also completely insane. That feels like, but that's the thing, man. When it's like that long ago, it just feels like another life, or almost. You know what I mean? Like, just like that happened to me. Like I did that really? Huh? Okay.
Well, there's this time somewhere we could do it again.
Damn straight, bro.
We'll just find a new location, new destination.
You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like Room on Fire on wheels, or on rails, basically. And then we're just gonna get that 4G connection or 3G connection, depending on which country we're in, right? And laptop, and just there you go, live stream podcast from the train as we move across Europe from place to place.
I don't think we can get an uplink that good, but it would be cool if it could be done.
It's like worth a shot, right, man? Come on, you gotta believe. Like, in Sweden, we'd be fine. In Sweden, it'd be like 100%, just like totally cool.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I ran the stream from a 4G connection. That was actually better than my copper wiring, so it can work. It can be done. Right. So actually, just looking at the game here, it seems like almost everyone is joined on the server. Yeah, we're not missing anyone, are we? I think it's cool.
We should probably go over right now is like the importance of this match, because it's starting to get pretty tight up at the top of the food chain, man. If you look at the groups, it's starting to get a bit out of hand. TSM are sitting very firmly at the top now, having secured a couple of wins. They're actually sitting at the top of the pack, and I'd say they're pretty much guaranteed a spot at the LAN now, barring like some massive, huge, incredible upset comeback, which is possible with Envy, because Envy still have quite a few games to play. But they are sitting really hot. They've got 2 games left to play in this group, and they're going to be pretty much locked in. They have 22 games total. They've played 20 of them. They've got a 15-0-5, and they're sitting at 45 points. So they're pretty much leading the pack right now. The runners-up are EnvyUS. They've played 16 matches. They've got 11-0-5 record, and they've got 33 points. Now, that's the thing where it gets kind of crazy is now when you start getting into the lower matches, because there's still a few to be played out. But like Fnatic, 15 matches played, 11-0-4. Hellraisers, they've played 18, 11-0-7, and then NiP are in the 5th spot right now. 18 games played as well, 11-0-7, just like Hellraisers.
Damn.
So that's the scary thing right there is that NiP, man, they have 4 games left in this league to get up into that top 4 slot. Like, they need to win every game from here on out. And it's not going to be easy versus Envy on Cobble.
Oh, no, definitely not. So, yeah, everything matters at this point if you're NiP. It'd be a shock, I think, if NiP don't qualify. But then again, the way this tournament is structured, it's kind of a shock no matter what. Like, there's always going to be a couple of teams left out. By the way, I'm seeing in the chat a couple of you are saying if that your microphone is still a little bit low, so I don't know if you can turn up the gain just a tiny bit, maybe. That would
scooch it up a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
is that a bit better?
I think that's going to be better.
Yeah,
that'll
I
keep
haven't
people
touched.
happy.
That's the thing, though. It's like I haven't touched a thing since the last broadcast, right? So
Yeah.
going off of that, right, it should be identical. Like, we should be good from the last time. But then, of course, there's always like these little gnomes that start running around and messing with PC settings and everything like that, of course, between broadcasts, right? So you can never really trust anything. Everything just kind of changes. It's like Skype. Nightmare.
Yeah, it's, you'd think technology would just stay the same like that, but it's not. It's crazy.
All right, well, I've upped it just a little bit, and we'll see if that's good enough for you guys. Also, kind of like we're talking conversational voices right now once we get into like the thick of things. I don't want to, rip your ears either. So, we'll find that balance as we go, guys. But yeah, like as far as the group is going right now, it's really tense. Like starting to get up to the top, within the top 6, even top 7, because Navi are there as well. They've got 15 games played, but they're sitting on a 9-0-6. So it's getting to that point now where every loss is really going to hurt you if you're trying to be at the top of the pack. Like TSM right now they're sitting pretty and they're looking really good. But like Envy, Fnatic, Hellraisers, like that's where it's starting to get really scary. Hellraisers, though, man, like, where did this come from? All of a sudden, Hellraisers, they're just, like, pumped like mad. They've won, like, 2 games last night, I believe, and then they lost versus TSM. But, like, they're just wild right now.
Yeah, if they managed to qualify, that would be a huge victory for them, wouldn't it? That would be quite upsetting. It's only 4 spots in the European qualifier for a European team, obviously, so, I don't know, like, if you just had to call it based off the current sort of, top 4, you'd probably end up with, like, I guess TSM, Fnatic are the obvious ones, Envy as also an obvious one. Then you need to pick a 4th team, but yeah. I don't think many people would be thinking Hellraisers. You'd be thinking NiP or Virtus Pro or something like that, right? Maybe Navi before Hellraisers even. So yeah, that would be a big win for them, obviously. But they are pretty hard working lately, aren't they? They've really been putting a lot of time into the game.
Hellraisers, yeah, and they came out of Fragbite and they were like highly motivated as well. They're just like, okay, well, we see where the problems are, and we're seeing like maybe the changes that need to be made. Another thing that's crazy about Hellraisers and their style is that it's actually Adrian and Angel both calling right now. So they have like a dual calling thing going on. Where when I heard that, I was just like, wait, Adrian, like, repeat that? And he's like, yeah. So I call around, and then Angel calls around. But Angel always has the final say, so if I want to do something, maybe he can override it. And I'm just like, this sounds so confusing, bro. You need to cut that out. You need to determine who is going to be leading the team, make that call, and go from there, right? Maybe you have a guy who's helping with the mid-round calls, that sort of thing, and that's where you can come in. But if you guys are both calling the shots, that just sounds confusing. And well, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're starting to tighten up on the leadership right now. Maybe that's what's led to a huge night for them last night. Basically upsetting a couple teams and getting all the way up into the 4th slot here. Imagine if they win the next 4 games, though. Yeah, that would be just wild. Because I guess everybody's like the dream would be like TSM, Envy, Fnatic, and VP or NiP. But that would be like the dream of the top of the food chain, pretty much.
But that's mad, because what really worries me then is, like, as you said, like VP or NiP, but you don't want to make that choice, do you? You want both of them in here.
Yeah.
And obviously we know that's not going to be true, but yeah, it's gonna get a bit wild no matter what happens, really, and even more wild if Hellraisers steal that spot away. But we've always referred to them as the bracket killers, or the people who always sort of screw up the bracket, right? Maybe they're just doing it extra early on here. They're like, okay.
The best of 1 groups. The crazy thing is, though, is that Hellraisers should be perfectly capable of wrecking anybody out of North America, right? So they could actually legitimately have like one of the biggest performances of their career if they actually got into the LAN. It's almost like a top 4 guaranteed, or at least it should be for them. So that's crazy as well. Just the fact that if they could make top, like if they can make it through, they've pretty much got a top 4 in the bag like that. I mean, of course you can't really write off like Cloud9, Keystars. I mean, as far as the North American side is concerned, it's Cloud9 sitting in first place right now, 17 matches played. Keystars with 16 matches played. Nilum in 16 matches played, and CLG with 15. So there's still a little bit of road. There's still a little bit of a road to go for the North American teams before we start getting to where it settles down. But you know, Cloud9 sitting with a pretty impressive 14-0-3 record right now at the top of the pack there. Just, I guess the big thing is Keystars. You know, Keystars, the Brazilian team that moved up to North America to participate in this league. Like, that's wild right there. The fact that they are actually just going through those North American teams and, you know, getting that second slot so far.
I'm really happy that they are. I think they deserve it. But you know, and especially now that they made this huge move of actually going to the NA scene, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a bit disappointing if they went and then it turned out, oh, that definitely wasn't worth it after all. You know, move back down to Brazil again, guys. That would be upsetting. So I'm glad that they have that they're actually making something of it.
That they're actually making an impact, right? I think that's
exactly.
what everybody's all about right now. Just eyes on Keed and saying, "What is this?" Of course, they've had some problems. I hear that they've had some internet problems, etc. Going forward, so they're having a bit of a learning curve there, basically catching up with the rest of the teams that have had to adapt and figure out how to be able to play all these online matches. So Keystars are kind of going through that phase right now. But still, the fact that they're sitting in second place, I mean, how huge would that be? That would make this really like a worldwide event. You know, all we would need at that point is a Japanese team, maybe like POW from China, to show up, and then we've got a worldwide event right there. But having a team from South Africa, then you'd have the teams from North America. We need a Canadian team. It's not looking too hot for Tempo Storm or Ace right now, but if we had a Canadian team, then it would just be all over the place, man. We'd have full Europe, everything, full representation. That would be sick.
Yeah, I mean, I would like all of that. Definitely like a Counter-Strike to go fully global, but for now I'm pretty excited just to have Keith there. I think they're a really fun team. So yeah, I definitely hope that they're gonna make it through. But whether or not NiP are gonna be in here, I guess it's not 100% yet. So winning this match right now against Envy would be pretty big, and they're doing the knife round now. So what do you think, Semler? NiP beating Envy on Cobblestone, is it gonna happen?
I think it can happen, considering what we saw the other day from NiP on this map in particular. Like well, it just seems like everybody, or at least at the top, they've kind of figured out how Fnatic played with Olofmeister pushing out long over towards B site, right? They figured out how Olofmeister likes to play, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do that. And they got really good at it. Like the last time we played, we watched Cobblestone with NiP. It was Get Right pushing through that smoke every time, finding kills, lurking out, and then the rest of his team either coming through drop or heading over towards A. But he was almost always on that plateau doing some kind of shenanigan play. Same with Kerrigan from TSM, right? So we'll have to see now if Team EnvyUS, basically, I think that's going to be the key mark here, is whether they can figure out, okay, they can identify what NiP are doing, which is essentially like the current meta, and deal with that appropriately. And you've expressed this in the past, Anders, where you say, you know, teams haven't quite figured out how to hold that plateau push quite yet. They're still trying to figure that out with the nades.
Yeah, I'm still of the opinion that no one has really done it quite properly yet. Not that I have an answer necessarily, but I'm just a distant observer saying you guys are doing it wrong, but not like without offering any insight. So I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to work out here for NiP, who are setting up for a bit of a B push. Kiyoshima and BK are close by, and Sharks covering the drop room. Kiyoshima would have to go big here to stop this.
This is going to be really scary for him, because as this smoke clears, Forrest is waiting right around the corner, and Alu's going to be the first man to peek out. So there it is. Now they start to commit. 3 guys showing themselves here. Follow-up nade going through, doing a little bit of damage to Alu, but now begins the push, and NiP are going to come cascading out onto this site. You already have Shoxy, though, lighting him up, and Alu gets pinned down. It's going to be Kiyoshima, though, getting overwhelmed, and we're into a 4-on-4 here on the B site.
Yeah, Shock still in the back line here with the 5-7 in hand, and they are pushing in from multiple angles. Get Right going to become a kill on NBK, and Happy with a swift return. Shock's going to go down. Smith's also being slightly overrun, and Happy is trying to come up from behind, but he's alone in a 1v3, and Glock jump shot from Alu to take the headshot there on Happy. It's going to finish the round in favor of NiP. That's a stylish way to win a round there.
Oh, that's like insult to injury, right? Yo, we're going to win this round, but we're also going to like humiliate you with a jumping Glock shot to the face. Burst? Yeah. I think Alu might just be a tad bit salty after that one. Or not Alu, are they Happy? But that's a bit of a shame there for Envy. It seemed like they had the right idea. They had 3 guys over on that site early. They rotated in a 4th one and a 5th one in fairly quickly as well. It just came down to the shots landed, and NiP, they managed to remove Kiyoshima really quickly. He didn't really do anything up on that up on the plateau apart from kind of like draw attention for a second. But then they were just like, okay, actually, we're just going to pincer this guy down, get rid of him, and then take control of this portion of the map. Yeah. There it is, Get Right, once again. Straight out onto plateau.
Semler, how many callies for that jump shot?
How many callies? Yeah, I'd give it a solid 2. That's a solid 2, I'd say. It was a bit of a predictable shot, I guess.
All right, fair enough.
I'd give it a 2 callie.
It's 2 out of 5 right there. Shots waiting. Great angle for a straight headshot onto Get Right. It's going to return the frag after NBK went down. And Exist is moving up in towards the bomb shot here. Kiyoshima's going to go down, and it's going to leave NiP with a bit of an advantage. Shots falling to Freiburg doing a good job, and that should be it for now. I mean, the bomb is going to go down in B, and the rest of Envy, they're quite far away.
And they're kind of playing this passively as well, the rest of them. I mean, Smiths is holding up here with Happy basically in the apartments, and they did hear Alu step past, but at that point, do you really want to be throwing away your gun needlessly? Do you want to take the risks? It seems like they've elected to just hold on to the stuff and save it for the next round, see if they can get anything done then, when perhaps they'll have more favorable odds. Smiths is kind of taking a bit more of a forward position, though, here, so this might get a little tricky for him. Because Alu is kind of closing in. He never really left that A site, and now you have the rotation coming in as well. Exist is going to be the first man through into Connector, and he's got the Forest behind him as well. None of that matters when Alu hits an instant shot as he comes around that corner, and Happy now crouching in the corner, looking for that shot. There you go, peekaboo. Gets the kill, and does he actually manage to pick up somebody else here? Seems like he's going to be able to live through that round. So, best case scenario, I guess, for Happy in the end.
Well, you know what feels so good, Semler, when we've got this Vulcan stuff going on? Is when I had both Happy and Alu on my team, right? So Alu picks up a kill, but then he dies to another guy that I also have on my team. You know, that works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this. This is all going according to plan. Yeah, I need to see, actually, for me, I need to see, Smith's, yeah, both of my guys. Eesh. Happy's doing all right. I got Happy, but Smith and MBK need to wake up a little bit here.
Well, Get Right moving in. I think you had him as well. Definitely opening up once again here on the plateau. Looking to take somebody out. He's already done some good damage to Kiyoshima, who's still just playing with fire. Get Right going to take down NBK, and that should open up the bomb site one more time. He's really good at this plateau play.
He really does seem to have mastered it. Kiyoshima gets picked off by Exist, though, and then that's going to leave Shoxy up close. Gets overwhelmed by Exist, and, well, that's basically like rinse and repeat from NiP. Identical strat with the identical result, in fact. Very patient play, not taking a single point of damage in that B take. That's actually kind of serious. That's actually kind of silly.
Look at the fact that Happy's actually snuck by Alu somehow, so now they pretty don't know that there's someone in here. Not sure it's going to matter, but it's kind of funny to see them walk right past each other. Maybe he is going to get a chance to kill someone. He's got this Mag 7, and if he can get a kill now, it's the money that really matters for him. The kill bonus for this gun is great. But the timing is going to be so bad, ends up going down to Exist.
Yeah, and that leaves basically Smith's all by his lonesome all the way over. And T-Hall's not really going to be able to accomplish too much over here. Nobody running his way either, so no joy for him. He gets to save a P250 for the next round. And that's going to be going into the first round, the first buy round essentially here for Envy. So this is when it gets real fun. This is when it gets interesting. They finally get some rifles. And, well, we'll see if, for me at least, MBK and Smith start picking up some kills. Over on NiP's side, though, no surprise at all. Alu actually going straight for the AWP, but he had the money for it, so that's not a worry there. And the rest of them, just really solid money, actually. Exist sitting on 6,500. Like, these guys, they've got great bank going into the next round. Curious to see if they're just going to rinse and repeat again, dude. If they're just going to go for the same thing, say, oh, well, we don't need to get fancy here. If it's working, it's working, right? We can just kind of move out and keep pushing Get Right in there aggressively until Envy teach us not to.
Yeah, I mean, I would say as long as it's working, just keep doing it. Force them to come up with an answer for it. But then you also need to have a plan B if they do come up with an answer, right? And it just feels to me like the focus for every team right now should be that whole plateau. Like, how do you stop people from doing what Get Right's been doing? And you can see he's already running there.
Yeah. Setting
he's
up
fired
again.
up.
And he's got that identical pop flash as well. He dodges the pop flash that was destined for him. And over in drop-down room, they're going very aggressive right now. Shoxy not able to hit the shot. And Kiyoshima will be able to shut down Exist, but I don't think that he realizes that a second man was there. Get Right looking to return that shot. It's going to be Forrest and Freiburg, however, to take out Smith and MBK. And Kiyoshima just trying to hunt down Freiburg. Looks for this headshot, but he's not going to get it. Instead, it's Freiburg slapping him down. And now that leaves Happy alone over here in the A halls. We'll lose that fight versus Forrest. Wow, NiP right now are looking fired up. And they did, again, the same thing.
Yeah, very much the same thing. But I mean, a really sick round from Freiburg. Getting that last kill there was impressive. So that's going to put Envy in a weird spot, isn't it? I mean, right now, Smiths or MBK, neither of them have picked up any kills. And at this rate, NiP is off to a pretty good start here in the first half. But it is a terror-sided map, so we've got to be careful we don't get too carried away. Envy still have a... I mean, we've seen this before, right? The team starting really badly on CT side and suddenly making a sick comeback. And look at MBK boosted up here in drop zone.
Yeah, he is going to be up close. We'll see if he gets any joy. They're going straight for the boost. I love this, though. The stack on the B side as well from Team Envy. They're like, okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get some additional firepower over here to ruin these guys. And Kiyoshima's going to start off by taking out Get Right. That's going to ruin it a little bit. Exist getting toasty, but he gets the shot onto Kiyoshima. And that leaves him actually in a position to be able to try and take a fight with both of these players that are rolling in. But an HE goes sailing in, takes him out happy with a kill. And now NBK, the one holding up close to Plateau, where Freiburg's going to pick him off immediately.
Great double kill from Freiburg, taking down Smiths as well, and really giving a good chance here for NiP to recover. It's going to be a third kill from Freiburg. Absolutely wonderful triple, and that's going to be Sharks now left alone with a deagle in hand. And in a 1v3, it'd be nice if he could do some more damage to NiP, so this could be a bit of an expensive round for the Swedish team.
I think that's the important bit that we're looking for here. Interesting to see Shoxy rocking a deagle as well. But right now there is that triangle set up right for NiP on the B site. He's been spotted now as well. Alu's going to be pre-scoped on this position, so if he does go for the peek, it's going to get nasty here for Shox. But it's Forrest instead to pick up the kill from Plateau, and that ends it. 5-0 lead now for NiP, and they continue to develop the funds, man. 12,000 on Freiburg. Forrest has got 10K. Like, they are starting to get real comfortable here, the Ninjas. Whereas Team Envy, they're going to have to spend everything. And look at that. Happy going straight for the AWP. Goes for the Kevlar, doesn't skimp on it. I thought that for a second there he might try and get nades instead. But he wants a little bit of durability.
Well, it's a double up setup on Envy's side, but it's also a double up setup on NiP side here, so that's interesting. It's not the most common thing in the world to see two ops on the terror side, sorry, but and especially not with one of them as Get Rights. You know, we've been sort of taunting Get Right for a while, haven't we? Oh. But he's going to open up again on NBK, so the fun is over.
And two flashes go again. That's actually a slow to Get Right down a little bit. Shoxy getting up close to the Plateau. It's going to come down to Shoxy here. He has to win this duel versus Exist. He's going to get overwhelmed, and then it comes down to Kiyoshima on the site. Finds the shot onto Get Right. Messed up Molotov, and a click headshot onto Freiburg. Saves the day here. Brings it back to a 3-on-3, and Exist is down to 1 HP as well. But they actually lost that bomb up on Plateau right now, so this is actually a little bit tricky here for NiP. It's going to come down to Alu. It looks like he's the answer with the AWP. Take the lead. See if he can't pick somebody up here.
Forrest sneaking on in, and he's going to get the kill on Kiyoshima. Smiths will get a return on Alu, though. So still a 2v2. Smiths very low on health at this point, and Forrest is going to pick up a double kill, but they're both very low at the moment, and Happy sneaking in with a USP, actually making some noise. So Forrest knew, still a straight headshot, and Exist now trying to get into the right angle. Almost drops Happy then. The 25 seconds, he's going to turn and run and try and reposition himself before Exist even gets a chance.
How does Exist read this? He does, but Happy lands the shot. And now Envy are on the board. Happy himself, 2 kills for him. Kiyoshima with 2 and Smiths with 1. So Smiths is on the board now. But that kind of 1v1 clutch shows how close it is between these two teams right now. Envy, well, at least what it takes for Envy to win a round versus NiP. It's like, okay, the only way is actually going to be in this real nail-biting situation that you're not going to be able to replicate consistently. So you guys still don't have the solution yet to deal with what the Ninjas are throwing. And, well, it's almost as if there's some kind of screenplay or something, I don't know, a script, and Get Right's just following along every time, pushing out onto Plateau.
Yeah, he's just going to keep doing it. I mean, when you get entry frags on this plateau like 6 out of 7 rounds, why would you ever stop doing it, basically? Grenade out from Kiyoshima. I think he spotted Get Right, but Swedish player also moved out of the way for that grenade that followed up. MBK is going down. This is a horrible map for MBK so far. Like, he's really not had any. He's killed nobody. He's on a 007 right now. He's rocking a James Bond. Unlike Freiburg, who is 9-0-1.
And look at the difference already from NiP to start. They've actually put 2 guys over on the A site. So they actually have 2 guys developing up here in apartments. That's Forrest and Alu, essentially. The rotation is coming through with that bomb as well. And you still have the battle. Shoxy finally able to take out Get Right, but then the push is going to begin for the A site. So the timing right now is impeccable. And NiP trying to speed up, but Smith's holding a bit of a forward position. We'll see if he can get out of Joy with it. Any Joy, rather. And so far, it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Happy coming with a good kill on Freiburg, and Kiyoshima's going to drop one, leaving Alu alone in a tricky 1v2 with 15 seconds. Almost impossible, I'd say, as long as Envy played this one smartly, and they are trying to stay out of his sights here. 8 seconds, and Alu actually going to pick up the kill. 6 seconds running around close to the bomb site. No scope. It's going to hit the shot on Kiyoshima. What a sick play. A triple kill from Alu, and clutches the 1v2 with 15 seconds, sorry. That is nuts.
It's like, yeah, he only had like 7 seconds left to be able to actually get that kill on Kiyoshima, the last man. So where does that come from? Envy. It's as if they didn't have ears at that point. They didn't know where he was coming from, whether it was going to be up on plateau or below it. It looked like clearly Kiyoshiba might have been confused there at the end. But, oh man, what a turnaround. And now that's going to completely wreck the economy for the Frenchmen. They're going back to standard tried and true, but then NiP as well. Get Right exists once again up on plateau, looking to get in here fast. And Get Right just doesn't even care. He's going to run up. He's going to let them know. He's going to make it obvious.
NBK running into another shot through the smoke, and he still just hasn't really picked up anything. This must be really frustrating being NBK at this point in time. He's going to want revenge at some point, I'm sure. Hiroshima close with the P250, not going to get a kill. And NiP just continuing this reign of terror here. 6-1, about to be 7-1. And Envy just do not have the money for really nearly anything. Alu not going to go down either, but maybe Happy's going to be able to take him out.
Yeah, Happy looks like he might hit that timing, but then the op comes out and Alu lands the shot. With that P250, I thought maybe with Alu being down to 35 HP, just a couple shots there from Happy would do the trick. It's not meant to be, and wow, okay then. Envy they're not going to take another round of eco, they're going for a buy right away. This is going to be a bit of a skimpy buy though, just because like, FAMAS, decent nade count, 2 shotguns. It's a scary situation. Not a single kit picked up. Only a single man with a helmet as well. That's unhappy. So he actually had enough money for it, but this is it really. Envy are just admitting that we have our backs to the wall right now. We need to get something done, and it has to happen fast.
Shock's actually pushing up onto the plateau right through the smoke. NiP going to see this, but then Get Right pushes through on the other side. What kind of madness is this? And Shock's is going to go... It's like the one round where Envy decides to play differently. NiP also play it differently, somehow.
And now you can have the rotation coming out as well. Forrest is pushed all the way up. He's expecting Smith to go through the connector, but Smith instead is going to go through the doors, playing it safe. And so Forrest not going to get any joy there. No free pick for him this time around. We can see Smith having rotated back up, and now it's going to be this man here, Happy. But the only person who's waiting for him is Alu, and Alu literally just sits here all round long, doesn't even move. He's just holding this angle on A Apartments, and the flash is going to be perfectly timed. Happy might just get flanked here. Forrest walking up behind him. Does he actually turn around in time? Does he realize? No, but Forrest goes down into underpass instead. What is this, like this game that's going on between these two Envy players, basically? Still here, still alive. And Happy just now realizing, wait a second, I can get shot in the back. I better smoke that up.
Yeah, Alu going to move in right in front, grenade in back, and there's Alu picking up the kill. And Smith will be the last standing now on the Envy side. Wants to save this rifle, but not gonna. Existence there will take him out. And Exist currently top fragging at 12 kills, 0 assists and 5 deaths. Pretty cool ratio.
Had him on my team, just saying.
Damn. Well, he's making up right now for...
he's making up for NBK.
For NBK, yeah.
Yeah, and Smith is having a bit of a rough time as well, so... Okay, well... You know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. We'll see. I mean, the game is definitely far from over, Anders. They can turn it around once they get onto their T side. And I'm really curious to see what style Envy are going to use here on their T side of Cobble. But for now, it's more of the same. Get Right, pushing out onto Plateau. It's like a sheet of music at this point. But they were not expecting Freiburg to get into drop-down room so quickly. Kiyoshima will overwhelm him, but then you have the return coming in from Exist. And, well, Get Right still alive, backing off to try and support this bomb carrier. Doesn't want him to get caught.
Get Right got dropped this low by the scout that NBK is using, jumping up at the statue. Headshot from NBK. That's what it took here. A jumping scout, but Alu already knows that he's in that angle, so he's going to try and get a bit closer. Oof. Will get that kill.
Nice flick there by Get Right. dead-on headshot to Happy, and NBK gets flanked, of course, by Forrest, who was working his way over from the A side through connector. So, no joy in the end. Still managing to make it a bit more expensive for NiP, though. So that's good work there by Envy, but it's still very much NiP kind of having their way right now with EnvyUS. But now we get the rifles, we get all the nades for Envy, and they don't pick up a kit again. They're just like, we want all the nades, and none of us are going to skimp on that because NiP aren't going to get a bomb plant. But yeah, like right now at least, it's looking very grim.
Envy just saying, look, it's not like we're really surviving for the plump bomb to even go down, so why bother?
And now it's NBK who's up on plateau, and he gets spotted by Get Right, who just goes charging through that smoke. Kiyoshima once again up on the tree, will get the drop. He will be able to take out Get Right, so at least there's a 1-for-1 trade going that way. But Shoxy had changed up positions with NBK, went over into drop-down room, and now he's going to rotate back over to plateau. Problem is, there's only one man here, it's Freiberg, and he's trying to sell a bit of a fake. He's actually putting a smoke down into connector. Oh, that's actually really nasty. That might actually delay the rotation coming in here for Envy if they do get found out that this is going to be an A-side push. But Alu aggressively pushing in A apartments gets picked off by Smiths. And then you have Happy still alive on the site itself with 3 players coming up now for NiP.
Good timing on Smiths there. Happy looking for a headshot, playing behind the SWAT truck, and Smiths is also rotating to try and help out here. It's going to be Happy taking Freiberg down, and now NiP down to 2 members, and Exist should be falling next here. Long spray, and Kiyoshima will finish it. So there it is, 9-2. And I would say there's still a chance for Envy to come back in this game, but they need to win at least 3 more rounds. They gotta get at least 5, I think, preferably 6, but I think they could do it with 5.
With 5, yeah. It's like...
It's not great, but
no, it's a stretch, right? That's that stretch score where they really have to dig deep and basically catch NiP sleeping the entire time. Which is possible, But it's not likely, we'll put it that way. And, well, basically, this is quickly turning into the default setup here. Although Forrest getting flashed in is a bit different. And Shoxy, though, getting a double spray on drop-down room? That hasn't happened yet. Just like that, we lose 3 players for NiP in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, really good job here. Finally, something working out for Envy. It's about time as well. I mean, unlike last time where they won a round and they got closed out in the very next one, this one they actually have a chance to build something off on their own economy, which is still important.
Oh, we lose it, but there is still man Happy. Has rotated over, point-blank shot from Alu, annihilates Smiths. It's still a 1-on-3. He's only got 13 HP. He doesn't have much time either, and the flank is coming in here by Happy. Spots the gun barrel, goes for the spray, gets the job done, and that will be the 3rd round here. An AWP saved as well, which is a great victory for Team EnvyUS, and they managed to even upgrade NBK's FAMAS to an M4. So, solid round there for the Frenchman, definitely. And now they're finally starting to put a bit of a dent in the NiP economy. Exist is going to full buy here, and it's really just going to leave Forrest only man with any kind of reasonable bank. So, that's not to say that they're not going to be able to buy. Well, it would be a real stretch if they were to buy in the next round without a bomb plant. So, we'll see how that plays out here for NiP. Anti-rush nade's going down, and it is NBK once again trying to get up into position on plateau. So, it seems like Shoxy's like, okay, that's enough of it. I can't handle Get Right now. NBK, take over for me.
I mean, kind of a bad deal for NBK, isn't it? Since
kind of a bad deal for Shoxy too. Look, Get Right's like, oh yeah, Shoxy's not playing. Okay, I'll come and find him, and he gets the kill.
Wow, it's not fair at all, is it? And now they are going to push in. Great smoke put out onto the site here for NiP, making it really hard for Envy to see what's really going on. Although Get Right will go down, NBK still playing on the site, and it's going to try and spray down Forrest, but not going to be successful. And I'm not sure how they can get this retake now.
I'm really wondering as well, especially because they're getting sandwiched in here by Alu, who's coming in from behind in connector. Smiths. Well, it's going to be Smiths, last man standing, and Alu's just a little bit too late to have any fun. Unfortunately for him, the smoke's clear, and his teammates are able to pick off the remaining members there for Team EnvyUS. But he might have had a good shot at getting some backstabs in there. But that's going to just, well, I mean, basically we see the results as far as momentum is concerned, money is concerned. EnvyUS, they've just been stopped cold, and it's going to be a buy from them. No surprise there. They just need to get rounds on the board. It might happen that we get that 10-5 if they can pick this one up here. Because NiP, well, no, NiP certain they have the money as well, so it really is like just dark and then darker for Envy right now.
Oh, Exist flashed and might be going down. Good spray from Kiyoshima. Takes him through the box. So at least there's a start for something to build on here. Nobody else on the NiP really tagged up too badly, but the bomb is far away, and they're sort of now slowing it down in NiP. That's where I'd love to see if they have a plan B, you know. Now the plateau play didn't work. What's next?
Oh, flash into underpass to set up Happy. To set up Forrest to take out Happy. We lose Smiths as well, and then you have the line being held here by Shoxy with that 5-7. Here's the steps on the other side. Freiberg, of course, will check that corner and be able to pick up that kill. And that leaves NBK here. Jumping swag, and he does get the one. Stops jumping just in time, and the flash goes through, so now he's just trying to set up here with his teammate Kiyoshima, who's still alive, but we lose NBK to Alu, and that's going to leave Kiyoshima all by his lonesome. Headshot onto Alu, though. Shuts him down. Now it's Freiberg and Get Right, 1v2. But they've got a bit of a crossfire established at this point. If Kiyoshima tries to step out, they could have him from 2 angles.
Kiyoshima seems to be having one of those days where everything just works, but he's going to walk into Get Right there. Pretty decent crossfire setup from NiP, and that will be it. NiP taking an 11th round. And we're moving to the last of the half here, and oh, a bit of a disconnect on Alu there.
No Steam log on. Now, which error is that, right? Which error is that? And once again, we get left with this like sepia.
Yeah.
So that's not very pleasant either.
It's like someone has been playing with the filters in Instagram or something like that.
I was about to say, it's like the hipster wet dream. Look at this. Look at this tree. Look at the shadow, the play of shadow on this tree. That is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
So deep and meaningful, right?
I know, really. It speaks to the passage of time, how everything fades, and eventually, you go through the seasons as well. Right now, we're in the summer season.
I like it.
Leaves.
I like the analysis there. So, just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
And then look at this trash can. This is also evocative of our current culture. This day and age of waste. And hold on, I gotta change up the angle a little bit. Maybe we'll like take it from this. All right. So we have the past, and that's of course the castle in the background. That was when when people were firmly rooted in their culture, in their history, in the present, and then today in the foreground. You know what's interesting? You go to high school, that's exactly what you do in English, right?
You just come up with things, and because you're the only one probably willing to say anything at all, your teacher's going to be like, oh, great, yeah, that's amazing, because everyone else is being quiet, right? But then if you go to university, it's actually very different, and they're like, stop. It's like, that's not what we do here. So I don't know how that works. Somehow there's like a huge disconnect.
Are you telling me that the school systems are flawed, Anders? That they teach you one thing and then expect you to learn another?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's
golly, I'm surprised. Oh, but what's going to be surprising is they're going for the boost and they can't seem to get it right. Like, what is going on between Kiyoshima and Shox? They were just going for that boost and dropped out for so long, and they actually just back off at the end. They lose NBK, so I guess that's the call. The call to fall back and try and set up different positions.
Oh, man. And BK just got off to the wrong start on this map and just could never, fully recover. It could be that in the second half he's going to be able to, but definitely a bit of a tough deal for him right now. Finishing the half 2, 3, and 14.
I think it's because he has a personal stream. He just can't handle the pressure. Just the judging intensifies now as everybody gets annihilated on that B site, and it's going to leave Happy basically just wondering, like, hey, man, Forrest, what does an axe do to a tree, Forrest? Jesus, yeah, that many shots.
I mean,
oh, for shame, Alu, for shame.
Trying to go for the knife, but it was Happy. If you're going to knife someone, definitely has to be Happy. But I mean, you're right. He did almost put enough bullets out that he could have really cut down a tree with all those. It's going to be 12-3 in NiP with a very, very impressive first half. No doubt about it. Semler, they know what's on the line here as well. They know that they have to go all in and just win every single match from here on out.
And this after them having a bit of a bumpy night the other night they had a bit of a rough ride. Some losses. I mean, they got pummeled NiP by TSM, like a 16-4 loss. So that certainly didn't help things. So the opposite happening here would be really big for the Ninjas, who are currently boot camping as well in preparation for DreamHack this weekend. So that is something to take into account as well. Envy, they aren't coming to DreamHack, so they're probably all spread out at home, etc. You know how that is. Whereas NiP right now are all sitting in the same room. They've got Alu obviously, but they've got Natu there as well. Backing them, the coach. So that may be making a little bit of a difference here for NiP, having that kind of setting basically to play these matches from.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They could be fired up. They could be ready for it here tonight. It certainly seems like they are about to run away with Cobblestone, and if they win this pistol round, it's really going to be all said and done. But Envy are making their way through the one point on the map where NiP weren't at all, so now they're just going to get a straight home run right into the A-bomb site.
And Get Right starts us off strong, gets a kill with the dualies, takes out Happy. I shouldn't be happy about that, but whatever. We got the kills going through, and now Forrest. They're actually managing to get basically to establish the crossfires, the counter crossfires here. Although stepping out into the open is going to be a bit of a punishment. And now we go into the remaining 2-on-3 situation here. Retake turns into a 2-on-1, and Alu trying to press forward onto the site. Exist takes out NBK, and it's going to be Smiths. Promptly nailed there by Alu. Straight to the face. Triple kill for Alu in the round as well. And that is very tidy for NiP. 13-3. If they can get that round difference, that would be amazing for NiP right now, because everything is so close in the points. Round difference could make the difference basically of you attending the LAN or not. A solid win here for NiP would be a big win.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, MBK actually doing pretty good well in that round. Just to point out as well, he did get a double kill, but he just couldn't get the last one. But you're right. If they end up winning 16-3. If it goes into a 3 or 4-way tie, or whatever, then that's gonna be huge.
And straight into drop down room, but there's a crossfire setup, and that's gonna set it up. Exist is already here. They are losing defense over on that A site, and there's the rotation, but then that steps right into Forrest's domain. And he takes out Smiths and Connector. That's gonna leave the bomb stranded out there. Happy trying to rotate back through. He's going through B halls though. He's gonna be on that site. And Freiberg, he's already in position, just camping that bomb. What is he doing? He's admiring rocks right now.
Well, Happy almost catching, in fact, will catch Freiberg here, coming up with a good kill, but he's also left on 3 health, so I don't see him making it out of this one. And, I mean, it's an expensive round for NiP, so Envy have accomplished that much, but it's still going to be 14-3. Envy still are going to be in a tough position. At least somehow they got the bomb down in the pistol round.
Yeah, they have that going for them, I suppose.
But they, with the buy, they still don't have that much money. It's tricky.
Oh, they're going to go for it, though. There we go. It's Tech 9s. It's a Mac 10 for Smiths. Tech 9s and some nades picked up for the rest of them, whereas over on NiP's side, Alu going so far as to invest in his AWP right off the bat. And Alu actually taking it very aggressive, straight into underpass here. This could get tricky. Is he going to be able to get that peek? He gets the leg onto Smiths, and now decides to go back for the re-peek. Manages to get the second tag onto Smiths before getting overwhelmed, but now the defense is coming in here for NiP. They've rotated it, and Forrest landing 2 shots to start, well, basically dropping Envy players left and right. He's going to get the last one as well. That's 3 kills for Forrest total in that round. But Envy clearly embracing the YOLO, just ran right through into the blender.
Yeah, but speaking of YOLO, I have to point this out somewhere. I don't want to be all negative or anything, but both Shocks and MBK at the end there, when they were shooting the tech line, you notice what was wrong?
What happened?
They were standing still with it. You're supposed to run and shoot. Don't they know anything?
For shame. How are they doing this? How are they not doing this? I mean, we're talking about like the Tech 9 Kings. Maybe they should call Olafmeister and just be like, Olaf, inspire us.
Yeah, remind us, Olafmeister. Is it plus forward or is it not?
Plus forward.
Is it Exist picking up 2 kills? And Happy's gonna be alone and like a true Tech 9 player. He's got the Tech 9 out and he's running with it. Although it is he's switching weapons now. But he had the right idea anyway. He had half the solution.
Now he decides to make life complicated. The M4, he's gonna need 2 headshots to get the kill. I don't know about that, Happy. I don't know if I can agree. Flash up into the apartments, though. That's probably going to throw Alu for a little bit of a loop. But Get Right gets picked up on that site immediately. Now, Freiberg pushing through the halls and Alu coming in from behind, but neither of them there to hold the line to stop Happy from getting onto this bomb site, except that Happy, he's going to run right back into Alu. He has no idea. There's the track. There's the shot. And Alu, final kill for him. Manages to close it out. What a dominant round there. What a start. Like, we were definitely expecting a bit more there out of the Frenchman on this map in particular.
Yeah, rip in pepperonis for Envy, but NiP going to be super excited about that round score difference, and also maybe a bit of boost of confidence as well, playing that well on Cobblestone against Envy.
Yeah, and that going into this weekend as well, man. Good results right now can only basically build the confidence for NiP going into this LAN, where I think, given their group, it's just get through and get to the finals. Or there's no other solution. There's no other outcome possible for NiP this event, pretty much. With the group, the fact that they have 2 BYOC teams that are going to show up in their group, it's probably going to be like Kingwind and X. Although if Kingwind make that run, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a BYOC showing. So it's going to be a long grind. But if they can actually show that, okay, online at least right now, while boot camping, we can get just solid wins like this, going into the LAN this weekend, we'll be feeling a bit better. But I think now it's going to be time for a short break. Well, it's a short break. We'll be back in like 15 minutes for our next map of the night. And that should be, let me see if I've got this straight here. That should be, Penta versus Fnatic.
Yeah, on Cash, I think.
Yeah, Penta versus Fnatic on Cash. And so that's going to be the next map of the night here at the ESEA ESL Pro Series. So guys, we'll be back in roughly 15 minutes time for that one. So we'll see you then.